2, 1.
Okay. Okay.
That's not. It's not bad.
That right before the end, right before it clears your palate, just like rainbow sherbet.
Yeah, but then you get a little bit of an acidic taste.
You get the sour.
Yeah, you get this. It is a sour. That's what it is. This week, boys, we are drinking Prairie Artisan Ale's Rainbow Sherbet Sour Ale with rainbow sherbet flavors.
Yay!
I've drank a lot of
not
these. Prairie has my favorite sours. Prairie does, but
Prairie dogging it.
This is by far my favorite. They have one called Vape Tricks, which is like a cherry sour. It's too acidic. They've got Blueberry Boyfriend, which is a blueberry sour, which is actually really good. They've got like 3 other ones. There's like a pineapple one. And I can't remember the other 2 off the top of my head right now, but the Rainbow Sherbet is by far my favorite, and it's 5.2% alcohol in this bad boy.
That's pretty good.
Better than a White Claw.
But really, I only drink about 2 of these.
It's all around better than a White Claw.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah.
More flavor. But really, after 2 of them, there's so much. They use citric acid in it for flavor. It's just too much.
I can already feel it on my tongue.
Yeah, like it's too much citric acid for me. But like two of these, I mean, they're great. Like I said, they quench your thirst. They're really refreshing. But as much as I love it, it really is only a 2 drinker.
This is something that you want to roll off the tongue. You don't want to sit in your mouth. You definitely want.
Really
you
good.
want to let it like just quickly run
really
across your
good.
tongue and then swallow it, and then you'll get the most taste out of it without hitting too much of the sour aftertaste.
But nope, I'm a big fan of it. Prairie's got a lot of them, and like I said, while this isn't a beer,
What is it called?
it is one of my favorite. I mean, it's a sour, is what it is. It's a fruit beer. It's a
Sour
sour.
ale.
It's a sour, is what it is. I mean, all of this stuff just usually sour.
Sour.
But man, like I said, I came into this one bringing you guys one of my favorites. So I'm gonna go from the top and just give it a 9 because I already know where it stands for me.
I'll give it a 9.
I'm gonna give this one a 7.5.
Why so low?
Because
What's your problem with it?
it's more about the way I like to drink beers, and I like to drink it slowly and kind of let it like sit in my mouth, like sit it, like drink it and kind of drink it slowly. And this is something I kind of want. I can drink it slowly, like not like all at once, but I'm not gonna let it sit in my mouth too long. So it's just not my cup of tea, but I do like the flavor. It's just not something I could sit down and have, like you said, too many of.
Well, I didn't ask for it to be a cup of tea. We're drinking beer.
That's what I'm
I'm not
saying.
drinking
But
tea.
I mean, I'm rating.
We're
it
not drinking tea.
I do like tea.
Not a tea fan. So 9, 7.5.
Breaks it down to an 8.5 on that
Okay.
one, which
That's
ties
a
it.
good one.
It
That's good.
ties it with the Marshall This Land, which was our previous high rate.
Yep.
And I still love the Marshalls.
But yeah, I mean, this one definitely has the highest individual ratings with the 2 9s,
Yeah.
but
Sorry, I'm a party pooper. Still, have we had anything that's below a 5 yet?
not at all.
Maybe that one should have been a 5. Not this one, but the one we tried like 2 weeks ago. That one maybe should have been when we were just like, this isn't good.
Yeah, we probably should have rated it a little lower, but yeah.
You guys didn't know. You didn't
Man,
know.
Yeah, like, I
we're
mean-
optimists.
Well, not only that, but we're still kind of in the beginning of this, so we're
You
not.
guys are beer babies. You don't know. You
Yeah.
don't know
I mean,
beers
that's
you
kind
like
of
and don't
fair. I
like.
kind of am a beer baby.
Yeah, I get.
So I
With,
only have the classic like Budweiser, Miller.
I did buy a 30-pack of Ice House.
I haven't had Ice House in years.
I want a 30-pack
They're
of
so
those
good.
top Topo Chicos. Oh my god, I still love those things. I was so sad when I looked at my fridge and there weren't any more left.
Go stop by.
There was half of one sitting on that table earlier until I dumped it out.
Yeah, it was clean. Like I came in today thinking, hey, I'm gonna clean up before we get going, and it's clean. It's nice. It's
Your
nice.
boy took care of it.
It's nice to walk into a clean workspace, if you will.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of how I felt about it. Like I was like, we got a lot of cans sitting around, so let's go ahead and clean this up a little bit.
Do our part.
Yep.
Save the world one can at a time. But yeah,
Are you sure that cleanses your palate, or does
Oh,
it
yeah,
just
that
burn?
I think that's gonna change the.
I think it's gonna burn it all. That sour is probably gonna hurt after that.
Yeah. Not for me, dog. The only thing that
That's
does
interesting.
suck about these is they only sell them in like 4-packs.
Yeah.
So
I noticed that when
Well,
I
it's
grabbed it. I was like, oh, only a 4.
They know.
Well, I mean,
So
really,
you want to enjoy like one or two.
I mean, if you sit down and drink a 4-pack of this, you're going to be proper fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's with 5.2.
Yeah.
That's what I love about Ice House too. Is a 5.5.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's weird?
And-
I still can't find a PBR.
Do you have eyes?
Yeah, I do. I've literally gone to 4 different gas stations. I've gone to Apple Market, and it's not there.
It's called Pabst Blue Ribbon.
I know what it's called. And literally, I spent a good 15 minutes.
I find them everywhere.
I
Yeah, I
spent a
walk
good
past-
15 minutes in 2 different stores. I went into their freezer.
Go to Walmart.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I just don't go to Walmart that often anymore.
They definitely have them at Walmart.
Yeah, no,
Oh yeah, definitely.
I passed like several 6-packs and 12-packs and 18-packs going to this when I stopped
Yeah.
at Quick Trip.
Which one?
The only one in Claremore?
There's actually 2 in
Oh.
Claremore.
Where's the other one?
By
It's the intersection
Turnpike.
by Pizza Hut, right?
Oh, that's not Quick Trip. That's not.
That is
Claremore.
Quick Trip. That
That's
is
not
It's
Claremore.
actually a bigger one.
That's not Claremore.
It's like twice the size.
It's yes to both of the things you said.
It's the edge of Claremore.
It's Claremore and a Quick Trip.
No one
That's
thinks
fair.
the
And
east
that's
side of
fair.
Claremore is
I
Claremore.
haven't checked there for beer, but it's because like when I go there, I'm always getting gas like as I'm leaving or coming to work. So I don't think of I do think of
Does
alcohol.
that come and go right next to?
They have it.
They have to. I was
I
gonna
know,
say
but-
they have
but
to.
that's what I'm saying. Like I don't check for beer there because when I go to that gas station, it's usually like first thing in the morning before like while they have everything locked up. So I never look in that area because I'm like, oh yeah, they have the alcohol locked up.
They really lock it up.
2 to
They
6,
do.
2 to 6 a.m. now. It
Mhm.
used to be till 10 a.m. But when they changed the Oklahoma drinking laws, they made it to where you can get beer at
But
6 a.m.
you
now.
can still buy like champagne
Yeah, that's what makes sense to me. It's like you can buy the wine
Yeah,
and champagne
because there was one
because they're
day-
out in the middle of the floor.
Yeah, there was one day where me and the person I was seeing had a big fight. And I was at work, and first thing in the morning, I just bought a bottle of champagne and drank it in my car while I was sitting there at
They
work.
got me popping champagne.
I was, but I was also very upset.
No
I
one-
was also
no
doing
one-
delivery
no one knows
truck.
that?
No.
It's all time
Sorry.
low, bro.
I don't listen to a lot of all time low. I know
now,
their hits.
now that I've got it, you need like 3 more pitches added to that.
I'm not a good singer.
I got your picture. I'm coming with you.
Dear Maria,
My favorite was always-
count me.
My favorite
in.
all-time low song was "Remembering Sunday," but it was only
Oh
because
my
I could play it on guitar, and it got
Remembering
me
Sunday.
asked so many times
Mine's
back in the
Break
day.
Yeah, yeah, that song. Yeah.
Mine's "Break Your Little Heart."
It's a good one.
Remembering Sunday, I could always get any teenage girl when I was in high school to sing along to that song. My God, that's such a good song. Like you're saying, so much ass.
It was a time.
That and Dear Maria, like got it a lot.
I never learned to play that song. The only
I didn't learn to play it,
all-time,
but it was a good song.
the only all-time song I ever learned was "Remembering Sunday."
I learned a lot of them.
I
Did
learned
you?
a lot of Mayday Parade because that also got a lot of ass.
I didn't listen. I mean, I didn't really listen to Mayday
I
Parade
was
until
really
like
into
I never
way
did.
after Mayday Parade was good. Same with the main. Like when the main was first popping, I was like,
I only like a couple of their songs though.
no, like some of them are great.
I still
but,
sing the Plain White Tees.
the last time, I mean, hell, I went to a festival like
That face.
2018.
Ugh.
And it was like the main Mayday Parade, All Time Low were like the 3 headliner. And I was like, I feel like I'm in high school. Like
Yeah.
I feel like I'm right out of high school again. This is very strange. But it was fun. It was a good day.
Yeah, Sonic was playing Rhythm of Love by Plain White Tees while I was car hopping today. And I made a bunch of tips because I was just sitting there just singing to the song.
I feel like the one place
Swing
I've
to the
heard
rhythm
Your
of
singing
love.
is like Ron's, just 2 different tones at once.
Sing to the rhythm of love.
but man, like
I can sing decent.
I can
if
say honestly, the most I've ever heard Plain White Tees is in a Sonic parking lot because the Hey There Delilah
Checks
comes
out.
on. Like I'm just
try.
like,
Yeah,
what the fuck?
That song
You know what's
got
weird? That's one of the-
so overplayed
Yeah.
that even when it
the song was
fir-
good when it was new,
No,
and that's it.
I never liked that song
Uh-huh.
ever. Like so,
Well,
no
when
matter
the song
what.
came out, I was young, so I was in the proper age to listen to it, and then I just got into like the rest of Plain White Tees, and it was around the same time that I was listening to All Time Low and Mayday Parade, and I was super into Mayday Parade. I like knew all of their songs,
There you go.
including their newer albums now too.
Actually, I don't know. There's
Actually,
only one
they're-
Mayday Parade album that I know.
I say their newest albums, but it's probably like an album from like 2015.
My wife posted on her Facebook page,
Uh-huh.
and
All Time Low.
no, we had a comment come in from Michaela,
Uh-huh.
and I was
Michaela?
like, "What is she commenting on?"
Uh-huh.
And then I noticed that my wife posted something on there,
Ah.
and it says, "Name something you would never buy used."
Michaela?
Michaela said underwear.
Ah, good call.
I thought she just said her. Like I would never buy me used.
I
never
really
buy
want
a
to cut my
used
back
Michelob.
bake false. That's the only kind of underwear I have.
All of my
You
underwear.
take it or leave it. Beggars can't be choosers.
I prefer my underwear pre-broken in. Thank you very much.
I would like at least 3 holes in the back before
Yes.
I buy them.
Please.
They're speed holes.
And thank you.
I need the aerodynamic.
Exactly. It makes me more aerodynamic when I fight.
When I fight.
High speed, low drag.
Exactly. You see any hair under there, bro? You see any hair under there?
Michael Phelps.
So fast, it just burns right off.
Yeah. Deja vu. I have been in this
Ooh,
space
that last drink every time on these ones is way bitter. But
I
it's
could
good.
drink so many of those. They're so good.
Because I can,
really
but
like 'em.
they upset my stomach after several.
I
just
get
because
burpy,
of all that
yeah.
sweet.
These are really burpy.
Well,
thing.
and you got IBS. So
Ibis.
yeah, you got the ibis.
Ibis.
My bowels like, bring it on, bitch.
Yeah, not mine.
I take
wish.
massive shits every day, so it's fun.
I wish the one thing I wish I could eat spicy food like I could when I was young.
Yeah.
Like, that is the one thing I miss in my adult life is eating.
Isn't
spicy
that
food until
weird
I
that we're
hurt.
at the point that we're like, I wish I could do this like I could when I was young.
Oh yeah.
And I'm at the point where it's like, fuck you, I still can't.
Yeah. Well,
Not for long.
Yeah,
No,
not for long.
not for give it like 4 more years and you'd be like, oh, this sucks.
yeah.
But I might just tough through it just because I really
It's
like
not worth
spicy
it.
shit.
Like I said, like like I haven't had Chipotle in
Chipotle's my
5
life.
years. Like 5 years because
Dude, I haven't had it in like 10.
because
I've never had
every time-
Chipotle.
every time I get it, it's like it's the most delicious, wonderful, heavenly thing
That's
going
a
in.
Chili's.
But the next day, it is not work because it ruins me the entire day.
Yeah.
Like, and it's not even the fact that it's really like because it's not the spiciest. It's really not. But you definitely know.
That's
You're at the
Chinese
age
food
where you
for
have to
me.
consider what you eat.
Chinese food is just so greasy. It's just like my next day, my stomach's like, ah.
See, that's the thing. Chinese food, no problems for me. I'll
That's
eat
so weird.
Chinese
We're
food
opposite.
until-
Like
yeah.
I can eat spicy food all day and be
Nope.
fine.
So,
It also depends on the spice base. If it's like an oil based spice, nope, not.
I miss
for me.
curry.
Curry's so good.
I've never had curry.
Thai
There-
food. There's
there's
several
a-
good Thai food places in Tulsa. Get
There's
some
a curry place in Okinawa.
I don't like trying new things. We've
That's
canonically established this.
Exactly. But
That's
beer.
kinda
He's-
all
he's
I
trying
like
to-
is
he's
new
Yeah, I'm trying
trying
new beer. Fine.
He's trying new
whatever.
beers.
If it gets me drunk, I'll take. I'll try.
there was a really good curry place in Okinawa that like a bunch of Marines would always just have one guy be like, "Hey, go pick us up this curry," and I'm pretty sure I talked about it where they like your initiation was you had to get level 10 spiciness.
Isn't curry the stinky stuff?
I mean,
Doesn't
it's
smell?
made with like vegetables and spices.
There's a
but
lot of different kinds of
There's a
curry.
lot of spice into it that can be.
Okay.
I mean, it can.
And there's,
just- the only
there's
thing
a lot
I've-
of kinds of curry as well.
Well, yeah, but I've always heard of like curry. Like
Well, it's
people
just-
know
it's-
when you're cooking curry.
Yeah, I mean, there's tons and tons of spices in it. It's very, very spice based, so it is a very, very fragrant food. I mean, curry is one of the most fragrant foods you can eat.
Makes
The
sense.
ones that we got, like, because you always hear the stereotype of like you know it's good food because it smells horrible but it tastes amazing. Like this curry always smelled good and always tasted delicious. But
Well, I
their spiciness, they did not fuck around with the spice. Oh my god! But it was so good. Like even on level 10, you're just like, oh my god, my mouth is burning, but this is delicious, and you just like want to die when you finish.
Now,
But
my,
then regret nothing.
my thing with Thai food is like I love Thai food. It's great. It's delicious. It doesn't mess with my stomach at all because it's all usually like gluten free and
Mhm.
everything like that. But Thai food doesn't smell like to me, like especially if I'm eating like pad Thai, I'll get a whiff of it and the first thing that my brain thinks is wet dog, and I don't understand why. But oh, it's so good. I love pad Thai so much. Pad Thai, and then get you a little bit of green curry and throw in there.
Yeah, I'm in that point in my life where I really just want to try everything. Like there's very few things I don't like, and if I don't think I'll like it, I want to try it anyway.
I just have a problem spending money on something that I might not like.
That's fair.
Nah.
That's where my biggest like blockade is.
It's
It's
a big
like,
thing for a lot of people that don't want to try new things. It's like buyer's remorse.
yeah, well, no, yeah, I just don't want to be like, oh, I paid $20 and I can't even eat it because I
Well,
don't like it.
At that point, you got to think you're not paying for the food. You're paying to try something new and to like just have an experience to see if you like it. And even if it's bad, it's like, oh, at least I tried it and I had this experience. Yeah, a little thing. You gotta think past the fact of like you're not paying for food. You're paying for an experience somewhere. You're paying for something that you want to try.
But the way I look at it is, I'm paying for something. If I get what I like, I'm paying for something I enjoy.
But yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that either.
No, but I mean, it's just like that's what stops me from going any further. It's like,
Well, and you also have to be a lot more responsible with your money than a lot of people that don't have
well,
3
yeah,
kids and a wife.
yeah. When we go out to eat, it's like $75. I don't want to.
So you don't want
I
to
don't-
spend
I don't
$75
wanna-
on something you don't like.
I don't want to leave there and be hungry and be like,
Yeah.
well, now I got to stop somewhere else and spend another $20 on food. Like,
Yeah,
I feel
completely
you on
fair.
that. I mean, it's kind of like you find you find different ingredients that you're cool with, and then you go.
What does this taste like with this?
Yeah, like my an easy thing, like especially like we've been talking about Thai food, an easy thing to try for Thai food for that I would say for you is try like a chicken pad Thai, like a pad Thai with chicken. So it's like it's rice noodles. There's egg. They cook egg into it.
What's a rice noodle?
It's made from rice. It's a noodle made of rice.
Oh, okay.
Instead of
like
flour.
egg noodles.
But so they use rice for the grain instead of flour. So
okay.
And then there's egg in it. There's usually broccoli, some like carrots, some
Stop! I'm getting erect right now.
stuff like that. But they'll do chicken in it as well. Like you add chicken to it.
Doesn't sound bad.
So it's kind of like fried rice, but not. I mean, it's completely from a completely different region, but
So kind of like a lo mein.
yeah, kind of,
in a way.
but not as lo mein taste because
Yeah.
lo mein,
Lo mein
main's
is
got a-
specifically Chinese too.
yeah,
Well, yeah, and that's more of like a soy.
yeah,
and they
flavor.
cook,
And
they
that's
cook
the thing
that
is-
they cook that greasy.
And Thai,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
not Thai. They don't use. I mean, they don't. You can always add soy to your like soy
Yeah.
sauce and everything, but they don't really use soy in Thai food. Like that's how you avoid the gluten. That's
Mhm.
and like soy is very gluten.
And very sodium-ish.
Yeah, sodium through the roof. But but no, like Thai food is a good. It's like a mixture of like Asian food, like Asian cuisine, like what you would think of, and Indian, like it's like the because I mean where it is, it's
Yeah.
the in between of like China and Japan and India. So you get a
The best
mixture
of all
both
three
of
worlds.
The
those.
reason I asked about the curry thing was because when I did pest control,
Uh-huh.
there was a couple locations where like an Indian family lived there,
Mm.
and they had their big old bins of rice in the tub.
Yeah.
And like when I walked in, like it's a very distinct smell.
Mhm.
So I was like, that's why I was questioning it, because I was like, I remember the smell,
Mhm.
but I've never had it.
No, yeah, that's probably what or a family that uses a lot of turmeric and things like that. Like in Indian families, turmeric, things like spices, things like that are used very, 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 very prevalently in their cuisine.
Yeah.
Therefore, and like I said, the spices that they use are very, very aromatic, and that aromaticness also builds flavor in your food. And like curry is just so good. It's just, I mean, yeah, kind of. Sometimes it can smell weird, but it's just because it's not something you're used to.
Yeah, it's just like it's a smell that I'm not
Yeah.
used to being around. So like when you smell something that you're not
Mhm.
used to being around, it's kind of like it sticks in your nose for a
And it
while.
also depends on where you are. Like again, when I was in Japan, like it was made by Japanese people, so they have a different style of cooking their curry than like Indian people do. Like Indians have more of the stereotype of really like bad smelling curry, but it tastes amazing. Japanese is more mild, like more of a mild smell. I think they don't put as much as like Indian curry does,
Mhm.
but it's delicious. There was a place called Ishigufu, and it was
What does that translate to?
I don't fucking know. I just know it was delicious.
Oh, okay.
My God. But it was this place. I'm pretty sure I've talked about it before. But it was this place that was just. I'm pretty sure it was just husband and wife, or may have been like father and son kind of thing. It was literally just two people working in there though. But this place would have like a line going down the street, people waiting hours to get this food, and like we would get there just as it opened. And I got this bowl of noodles. Like I got the extra large, so it was huge. Like I would have to hold it with both my hands. It was amazing, and it had I don't know what kind of noodles I had. Actually, it was udon noodles. It had udon noodles. I don't remember what kind of broth there was, but they had leeks, and they put a ostrich egg on the top of it, like a soft boiled ostrich egg on the top of it.
Quail egg?
No, ostrich.
That's a big ass egg, dude.
Yeah, like half of it was like this.
Ostrich eggs are way bigger than that. Are you talking like a goose egg?
No, like when they cut it in half, it was like this.
An ostrich egg?
I'm pretty sure it was.
I'm gonna say goose egg. I'm telling ostrich eggs are like this big around, bruh. Like they're huge.
Because it definitely wasn't a goose. Because like it was larger than a
goose egg is almost the size of a grapefruit.
Okay, then maybe it was a goose egg. Oh no, because
Maybe it was a swan egg
I swear they said ostrich or something along the lines.
or
of that.
emu.
Maybe emu. I don't know the
It
size
could have
of
been an
emu's
emu
eggs.
egg, honestly. But oh my god, like to this day, I think about it all the time because it was just I almost want to get 3 more bowls, but I want to be more considerate to the people that are waiting behind me. I'm like I finished it. I'm like I want more. Like and they had the Japanese That's not the same store. Wait, is that Okinawa?
This is Ishigufu's Soba Restaurant in Okinawa.
No, they didn't have that much at the front, and it was a taller building.
I mean,
think the living quarters were upstairs.
It could have changed.
I mean, it could have changed.
Could have changed since you were there.
No, they had living quarters upstairs. So I don't
From
think
Camp Foster Commissary Gate, turn right. I mean, it's right outside of Camp Foster.
I wasn't on Camp Foster. I was on.
Okay, so this is a different.
I was
one.
on Futema.
Well, this is the Ishigufu that popped up.
There was more than one. It was a.
Obviously.
Yeah. They also had really weird restaurants. I don't want to say weird because I loved it. It was just unordinary because you would order food off of a screen and they would come to you on a conveyor belt and it would ding when it gets to you.
Mm-hmm.
You grab it and you eat it. Even that food, like, amazing.
Go to
Phenomenal.
Sushi Train downtown, or go to Sushi Train in Tulsa. Like, that's what they do. Is there's literally a train that runs around and you just pull your sushi plates off, like whatever you want.
Everything.
They tally your plates up at the end.
Everything there was so amazing. Like, it was just everything feels like
I can't get into sushi.
I love it.
Well, I mean, you don't even have to get. Not even you have to get the sushi. I mean, they have so many things. There's so many things to try. I can't remember the name of the other restaurant, whereas you pay for the time that you're there. So you'd be like, I want to eat for 2 hours. So you pay like $50 an hour, but it's unlimited food, literally as fast as you can eat, and as fast as you can order, as fast as they can get it out. You sit at a table, just 2 booths with a table in between, and then an open flame in the middle. And you can choose to use the flame to cook like octopus.
Korean barbecue, yeah.
Yeah, it's so
I've heard that's really good. I've
it
never
was
had it.
specifically Japanese barbecue.
I'm saying that's a Korean barbecue is a style of cooking like that in front of you.
But because you could order, like, if you want to, you can just order the most expensive stuff constantly, like prime rib and all this other meat.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I wanted to try like one of everything, and a lot of people were very hesitant on trying the octopus.
Octopus is delicious.
It is delicious once you don't look at it and you get past the texture. It's delicious, especially if you the fun thing is if you get one that hasn't already been pre-cooked, and then you pour soy sauce on it. The soy sauce runs through the muscles and it moves the legs around, and it freaks people out. It's so cool.
Yeah, that is weird.
It's so cool. And it tastes amazing.
I couldn't do that if my food was moving.
It's such a good experience, and I recommend if anyone ever gets the time for some reason just to go to Japan and just the cuisine and just the environment
And the money.
And the money, yeah. Because going from America to there is much more expensive than when I went from Okinawa to Tokyo, which was $100 plane ride off of what I think was like a second-class liner. It was like a 1-story airport.
Let's go ahead. I just want to look.
I know I thought going to Europe was a lot more expensive than it is.
Oh, it's cheap.
It's not, yeah. It's like a $200-300 plane ride. And that's like almost round trip.
We talked about that like 2 weeks ago because we were talking about, I pulled it up on here, I remember. On Hopper. My phone's not loading fast enough because I have Hopper up right now trying to do Tokyo.
Yeah, because I want to go to like Iceland and Greenland right now.
That's the cheapest place to go to right now too.
Mm-hmm. And I want to go there because people were talking about doing sitting in ice baths and just like it's kind of like an open spa, but everyone's just sitting in like this freezing cold water.
I think you're talking about that stuff that looks like milky blue, because those are the hot springs that are in Iceland. Like,
I didn't see the images. I just heard people talking about sitting in ice cold water with a bunch of people from Iceland. They were very used to it.
A round trip flight from Tulsa to Tokyo is $1,200.
Yeah, it's usually about right. 12 cents sounds about right.
So if anyone wants to co-fund a trip back to Tokyo with me, I'm definitely willing to go back. And this time I won't blow $5,000 at a bar.
Damn.
I promise. I'm very impulsive by myself, but when I'm with somebody else, I feel a responsibility to be responsible for both parties. Not like overseeing them, but just make sure I'm being responsible. So if anything happens, I can make sure I'm covering it.
Well, he's by himself.
When I'm by myself,
inhibition goes out the window.
Yeah. When I'm by myself, I get blackout drunk on absinthe, end up with 2 hookers on both my arms, and then I end up in a car with a random chick with the police shaking me, telling me to wake up to pay the taxi driver.
That'll happen to you.
It will happen. It will happen to me. Yeah.
And Grandma was worried about me when I had a beer in each hand and chugging it. Like,
yeah.
this kid over here with hookers and
And this
police
kid living
officers.
his best life right now. I got the stories. I had such a good experience in Tokyo because like it wasn't even around like any holiday season or anything, but there was just a live band on almost every street corner, just playing to play. They didn't have like anything out to put money in. They were just playing, and people were just singing there, recording, and it was anything from pop music to folk music, metal, rock, every genre you can think of. You can find it in Tokyo just walking. It was so lovely, and the music stores they have are so intricate. I mean, the stores in general is just so not what you're used to in America.
Yeah.
That, I mean, you just get hit with like a feeling of bewilderness. You're just like, oh my God, like this is
Bewilderment.
bewilderness.
Bewilderment.
Bewilderness. But yeah, so lovely. I will say, I'm pretty sure I mentioned this before as well, but never interrupt a Japanese man in a suit when he's walking, because he will not give two shits about you. You could ask him to save your child from a burning car and be like, oh, I don't know, I'm busy, and he'll just walk away. But a mother with 4 kids, and one of them, like, she was pushing a stroller with 3 kids on the side. I'm sitting there at a train station. I'm just like looking at all the signs in Japanese at a train station. I'm just like, I don't know which train to hop on. I don't know where I'm going. And this woman with all these kids, like, walks a good like 20 meters up to me, and she was like, hey, like, do you need help? Right, in very broken English, wasn't that good. But she was like, do you need help? And I was like, oh, yes, please. I was like, anything you can do, yes. At the time I had very broken Japanese, but I could get off like what I was trying to get out. And I mean, she pointed me in the right direction. She even walked me to my train, nowhere near where she needed to be. Stranger. And I think that's one of the reasons why I have such a, like, I've always enjoy helping people now. Like, I always enjoy seeing someone like that looks like they need help. Be like, hey man, like, is there anything you need, anything I can help you with? Just because like their culture is just so helpful, so nice. It's just lovely. Lovely people, lovely place. And of course you'll have the same issues as you do here, because there is a homeless issue, not nearly as big, but there is. There's also a trash issue because, you know, Japan, it's such a small country, but such a high quantity of people.
Yeah.
But I mean, they do great for themselves. And yeah, I recommend if anyone ever has the money to go, please go. And it will widen your view on how people can and do live their lives.
But buy some merch first.
But
Yeah,
buy
buy
some
merch.
merch first.
Spend that money on merch first before you.
Wear
start going
our
about
merch
Japan.
to Tokyo.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I would have, listen, if we would have had the show, I would have worn my merch in Tokyo. And they would be like, oh, herotemasu, like, what's your shirt?
Did you say hello, dumbass?
Herotemasu.
Sound like
It
you
does
said. Sound like you said hello,
Maybe a lot of
dumbass.
people in Japan
That's
just
what
call me dumbass.
I think it was. I think it's
Hey,
what it was.
dumbass, get over here.
I think they were saying that.
Actually, I don't even know if herotemasu is actually a phrase. I just always say
It's just hello, dumbass.
hello, dumbass. They're just being really polite.
I know what you're trying to say, but I don't. I know that it's not quite right.
It's not quite right. I was decently good at Japanese too. Because I had to take a taxi like at least twice every 3 days.
Mhm.
Because I had to go to the hospital all the time, and the only taxis are, you know, Japanese taxis. So
It's
I
like
get,
you're in Japan or something.
yeah. Well,
I don't think you were gonna find an American taxi.
You have to think in Okinawa, it's a 69-mile wide, 69 yeah,
Giggity.
69 mile long by 20 mile wide island with like 6 military bases on it. So there was a lot of instances where you would just get a military guy that would just, there were Facebook groups you could just get a guy to come pick you up. But I mean, I enjoy
As
it.
he's canonically said, he doesn't get on Facebook.
I don't get on Facebook. The only time I got on Facebook they had a thing where you have a thing called SIF gear for the Marine Corps. And SIF gear is the basically the combat gear you're issued. So like your pack, your vest, and magazines, ammo pouches, magazine pouches, all these things. Magazine pouches and ammo pouches are the same thing.
I figured.
Yeah, grenade pouches, glow sticks.
I didn't think you
earplugs.
had like loose bullets just sitting inside of a pouch.
Wait, let me get my 762 out. Shit, you have a handful. They're just falling out. Like, oh,
I had a feeling they were organized.
yeah. But and that's the biggest pain. Yes, is the Marine Corps is when you have to return all that because you have like all these like little things that just are attached to things, and then when they tell you to take it apart so they can inspect it, they want you to put it back together, and it's so easy just to miss something.
Yeah.
And in Okinawa, I mean, if you're on MCAS Futema, you have a lot of times at least 2 roommates. So 3 people to a room. It's so easy for someone who's leaving before you to take something of yours.
Yeah.
Or someone to just take something of yours in general, because sometimes they're shitty people. They're shitty people in everything.
They lost theirs and they're like, I'm not getting caught
exactly.
without it.
There's also a lot of people who would intentionally sell their gear for more money to somebody who lost theirs, because they know if they were to order their own stuff, it would be cheaper.
Yeah.
So they would sell their stuff for a higher price.
Supply and demand, baby.
And I did get lucky enough where I had extra of some things, because the people that had left previously somehow just got away with not turning in some of their gear. So I was like, I guess I'll just take this gear. I wish I would have gotten the face mask, honestly. I like that face mask. It was a really good face mask. But yeah, that's Sith gear. Like, if you don't turn that in, you end up owing like hundreds or thousands of dollars just because from these little things, just because it's military issued. So
Yep.
It's expensive. Oh, fun times though. But
Well,
there's a Facebook group.
without those little things, the whole thing's obsolete, correct?
No,
Oh, okay. Well,
not at all.
I figured that was why.
No, a lot of it's really useless. A lot of it's not useless for people who see combat, but it's really useless for someone who repairs aircrafts, and that's all they do.
Okay, but that
But then
goes
again,
back
a
to what I
Marine,
said,
always
though.
a rifleman. No, because there was things I had.
because if you turn that in without that little piece and then it goes to someone that goes to combat and they don't have that piece.
No, still no, not really.
Okay.
Honestly, I mean, no one's gonna miss like a glow stick or like
They
hearing
might.
aid when you can buy that at
They
the gas
might.
station for like $0.25 or something.
They might.
It was a lot, because every person I talked to, because I still know a bunch of guys that are turning in their SIF right now in Okinawa. And a lot of them are just like, motherfucker, like, I'm so tired of like counting through like these 4 pages of all this gear I have that I have to fit inside one sack. And it's like, oh my, and they just, yeah, it's not fun. They do not have a good time. But I'm happy to see a lot of my friends coming home right now. A lot of them worked, those 10 to 14, sometimes 16-hour work days, and then, a lot of times working weekends, and a lot of times they're only working weekends because somebody else fucked up. So it's just like, oh, as punishment, we're working weekends this weekend.
Yeah.
There was actually a lot of instances where they would make up something that you did to punish you just because they needed something to be done. So they would punish you to get you to do it, even though you didn't do anything. But they would also, on top of that, actually add a punishment on top of that. So they would actually punish you. And then for your other punishment, you'd have to do the thing that they need to get done anyways. Where I'm just like, you could have just told me to do this. Like, you didn't have to. There was one point where they took my helmet, took a piece, like, because you have to wear a helmet to go out to the flight line, hearing aid, and in case you fall. So they took an earpiece out of my headset, out of my helmet, and then they forced me to search for like an hour. And then afterwards, they were just like, okay, well, where is it? And I said, I don't know, Sergeant. Like, I honestly, I can't find it. I don't know where I lost it. He was like, it's right here. And then I was like, oh, okay, Sergeant. I'm sorry for losing it. And then he had me clean the bathroom for 8 hours.
Because they took it?
Because they took it.
That's pretty messed up.
Yeah. There is a lot of that. There's a lot of that. And they had me clean the bathroom for 8 hours. 8 hours straight. I wasn't allowed to do anything else.
That'd be clean enough to eat off of.
No, it was literally, I had to hand scrub urinals that were caked with calcium.
Nice.
Yum.
Literally hand scrub. They said I couldn't use gloves.
Cool.
Yeah, fun times in the Marine Corps.
That's a hard pass for me now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The American military sounds great.
The American Marine Corps sounds great. The other branches.
Insert heavy eye roll here.
I will say it's definitely not everywhere. It's mostly on in Okinawa, because you're so deprived from the people you know and your families. A lot of these people were married with kids, and some of them couldn't have their family sent over yet, or even if they could have their family sent over, they're still working 10 to 16 hours. So by the time they get there, everyone's asleep, and by the time they have to get to work, everyone's still asleep. So many people were just so deprived of anything they need in their life that, again, the whole situation of the Marine Corps, like having the bad stereotype of being stupid and being reckless and being dangerous, they're so deprived because I think they're the hardest working branch when it comes to like physical manual labor. They're one of the hardest working branches, in my opinion, that to that point, you're so deprived of everything that you're supposed to be getting in normal life, that by the time you get any kind of luxury, you abuse that luxury. Because it's like, this is what I get possibly for the next month is this night.
Yeah.
And then you do something stupid because you're being impulsive because it's all you get. And then you make a stupid mistake and then you don't get anything to do for the next year. And that's your punishment, is that I know we didn't give you anything, but because we gave you one thing and you screwed it over, you don't get anything else.
Well,
it's a cycle. And again, it's mostly in places like Okinawa and these other places like Nine Palms, where it's middle of a desert, there's nothing to do. So people literally like get drunk and have brawls where they're smashing beer balls on top of their heads. And that's actually, that's not even uncommon. That's very common to happen. Nine Palms, if like for people that are in the Marine Corps, it's a name you know notoriously because it's a place where nobody wants to go. Like you'd probably rather be sent off somewhere to fight rather than be deployed to Nine Palms and just sit there for, half your contract to do nothing and sit in a desert with heat.
Yeah. No, that's a no for me, dog, on all fronts.
I have much love for these people because I know what they go through, and the people that can handle it, strong people, and I applaud them, and the people that can't handle it, I do not judge them whatsoever. I understand their pain, and I'm for some of them that couldn't handle it and just did one contract like me and just got out. I mean, I didn't do one contract and get out. I got medically discharged, but for the people who like got one contract and said I'm done, I'm sorry that they didn't love it, but I'm glad they're back home, and I'm glad that they get to live the life that they want to live, because everyone deserves to do what they want to do.
There you go. So go out and do whatever you want to do, as long as you don't hurt somebody else.
Yes, please do
Or
what
yourself.
you want to do, or yourself.
I mean,
that's your wish.
I don't want you to hurt yourself.
Right.
But, I mean,
If you want to hurt yourself,
If that's the life you choose to lead, then that's the life you choose to lead.
yeah. Everyone should try to do what they want to do with their life. There's too many people not.
Life's
just
too
suffering.
short not to have fun.
There's too many people just not doing what they want to do and living miserably.
Mm-hmm.
Have fun in your life, please.
On that note, till next week. I messed that up. Sorry.
Rewind.
On that note, till next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.